If you'd like a strong, resilient spine, then it's important to strengthen your spinal stabilizing muscles. In this video, I'll share 3 great core stability exercises to help protect your spine. Now, 3 of the most well-known core stability exercises are called the McGill Big 3, popularized by Dr. Stuart McGill, who's been doing research on the spine and lower back pain since the 1990s. Now, the exercises in this video are not those exercises, but they are variations, so I want to first cover the McGill Big 3. And those are the modified curl up, the side plank, and the bird dog. And why those exercises work so well is that they cover all 3 primary planes of motion. The curl up covers the front to back plane of motion. The side plank stabilizes in the side to side plane of motion. And the bird dog is good for rotational stability. However, while these are all good exercises, there are some downfalls. Number 1, they're all done on the floor, which is not the position that we function in. And furthermore, many seniors may have difficulty getting on and off the floor. So in this video, I'll share standing variations of the McGill Big 3. The first McGill exercise is the modified curl up. This is not a full sit-up, but rather you're thinking about pulling your sternum down to your pelvis and your rib cage down to your iliac crest. So it's just a short crunching type of motion while keeping your lower back flat on the ground. This strengthens your abdominals while keeping your spine in more of a neutral position. Now, the standing variation of a curl up is doing a standing pelvic tilt, where you roll your pelvis underneath like that to flatten out your spine. One mistake that patients commonly make when I teach them this in the clinic is that as they roll their pelvis under, they allow their lower back to come back with it. And you don't want to do that. So you do actually want to tighten your abdominals as if you were doing a curl up as you roll your pelvis underneath. This helps flatten out your lower back and keep your spine in a neutral position. Now, to progress from here, you can push your hips back, kind of doing a hip hinging, and you want to make the motion at your hips while keeping your lower back more or less in that same neutral position. You don't want to round out excessively from your lower back. You also don't want to arch your lower back excessively. So find your neutral spine position, tighten the abdominals, then just push the hips back. It is okay if the knees bend a little bit, and then just drive the hips back that way. To progress from there, you can do a deadlift, but the technique doesn't really change. It's just hips back, keeping your spine neutral, and then hips forward, again keeping your spine in a neutral position. And just repeat back and forth, allowing your knees to bend as needed, but keeping your core tight and spine neutral. The second McGill exercise is the side plank. This strengthens your oblique abdominals as well as your quadratus lumborum and helps stabilize in a side-to-side direction. Now, for the standing variation of the side plank, you'll only need 1 dumbbell. The dumbbell is pulling you down that way, and you're using your trunk lateral flexors on this side to help pull you back up the other way and keep you neutral. This is helpful if you're carrying a heavy bag of groceries or a briefcase or something else in just one arm. Now, to progress from here, you can just walk with it as if you're carrying something and go back and forth with the dumbbell in one arm and then switch to the opposite arm to help strengthen the other side. The third McGill exercise is the bird dog. In this exercise, you raise your opposite arm and opposite leg, kind of like a hunting dog, and you want to try to keep your spine in a neutral, stabilized position. So you don't want to allow your spine to arch excessively. You also don't want to allow your spine to rotate or your shoulder to drop. So try to keep your spine in a neutral position. Raise the arm and leg as high as you can without letting your spine twist or extend, even if that means that you can't raise your leg up all the way. and then just go back and forth, alternating sides. For the standing variation of the bird dog, we're just going to do a golfer's bend where you bend forwards on one leg. And if you want to make it more like the bird dog, you can raise the opposite arm out in front of you at the same time, come back up, and then repeat with the opposite leg. Now this requires both core stability, particularly in the rotational direction, but it also requires balance. If you don't have the balance to do this exercise, you can hold on to a chair, and that makes it a little bit easier. Or to make it harder, you can hold on to a weight and do a weighted single leg deadlift. So those were the standing variations of the McGill Big 3. For more spinal stability exercises, check out these videos over here. Or for more tips to relieve lower back pain, check out my book, Chronic Pain. You're not just getting older, you're not crazy, and it's not all in your head. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.